Welcome to Let's Connect on 88.5 Sufre FM. You're listening to your host, Reneata Dusauzay, and we have our guest already in house, but we're going to start with a few housekeeping matters. We want to say good night to everybody listening on the radio, those of you listening tuned in to 88.5 Sufre FM, those of you on our Facebook live chat. Also, good night to you guys. We want to say good night as well to all the various communities of Soufre, Force Jacques, Bouton, Diamond, Etangs, all the environs. Good night to all of you, and thank you for keeping it locked with us on Let's Connect 88.5 Soufre FM. I want to say good night to my guest. This is my first time meeting him. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Murphy Hippolyte. Welcome to Let's Connect.
Good evening. It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you so very much for taking time out of your busy schedule and being here with us. We know 8 o'clock is not the most convenient time, but we do appreciate you. Thank you so very much. So this is my first time meeting you, so we're going to basically introduce you to the entire public as well because you're being introduced to me for the first time. I was informed that you are one of the most premier entrepreneurs in Soufre. And I found that to be quite an interesting statement. So I said, no, I need to meet this young man. So I reached out to you, and I'm so glad that you responded. Thank you again, once again, for coming on our program. So I want to introduce you as well to ourselves and to myself. So tell me a little bit about yourself. I know your name is Murphy Hippolyte. Give me a little bit of your background. If you might give me your age and where exactly you're from in Soufre.
Well, that's not a problem. I'm 29 years of age. I'm from Magritud, Soufre, originally born and raised in Dillier Street, Soufre, also known as Abakoko. So I still consider this my hometown, you never forget where you come from. And yeah, I must say it's a privilege being here and then privilege hearing such great things about me. I'm 29 years old, so thank you again.
My pleasure. So, you they said you're an entrepreneur. What exactly makes you an entrepreneur? Have you had several successful businesses? Is there only one business that you have? Tell us a little bit about your business background.
Yeah, I wouldn't say successful. We just started off Paradise Hotel probably like I would say it's now 2 years, gonna be 2 years.
Okay.
And then it's getting off the ground pretty well. We had some backlash, but we're going strong, we're not giving up. So we have Paradise Hotel, Harmony's Bar, and Temptation Sounds. Also I have an ATV company as well, but it's not yet up on the ground running yet. But in terms of established business, we have Temptation Sounds, Paradise Hotel, and Harmony's Bar.
Okay, I've definitely heard of Harmony's Bar before.
Yeah.
Over the years, I know I think I've definitely come to one of your seafood related events and I bought lobster.
Yeah.
So but I tend not to stick around. I touch and go. So I just come see how everything is, say hi to a few people, show my face, and head back home. I'm not really a out person. So I cannot really say that I've patronized the bar, which I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to get more out there. So what type of Temptation Sounds, I'm guessing that's like a sound system company.
Yes, it's a sound system company, and then we always give back to the community in terms of if someone is sick or have a fundraiser, I would literally give the sound system for free. And then that's my way of giving back to the community.
That's great. I applaud you on that because a little goes a long way. Sometimes just saving on that little extra money on the sound system will help the fundraiser. So that's a great thing to do. That's great to hear that you're giving back to the community in that way. In terms of Harmony's Bar, other than the seafood fiesta I mentioned, what type of events do you normally have?
We usually have some boat rides, some street parties, but we gave everything a break because Paradise has been such a big mantle to take on. When you're so young and then you're in the hotel industry, tourism, boy, I could tell you if I wasn't strong, I'll probably give up already.
Okay, well then that definitely proves that you're strong because you're keeping at it, and I hope that you definitely don't give up on that. I think that you're definitely going to be one of those persons who's going to show young people that when you persevere, there are so many avenues open to you. And I think you didn't mention your age.
Yes, I'm 29 years old.
Okay, at 29 years old to have for successful businesses or upcoming businesses,
Yeah.
since you said the ATP
Mhm.
one is not up and running yet, but to be 29, under 30, and to have successful businesses and to be able to show the people in the community that you can strive for something and also still give back to the community. I think that's very admirable. So definitely keep it up. Do you have any advice for persons who are just getting up to the right now? We're celebrating Business Month this
Mhm.
month, so we're also been encouraging persons to register their businesses and to get ready to do their business plan. The district rep is going to be putting together a sort of a workshop for persons to get their business plans up and going. So that's part of activities for Business Month. Do you have any advice for our young persons listening in terms of starting a business?
Yeah, starting a business, that's basically one of the hardest things to do. If you don't have a good supportive background, somebody to push you, then trust me, if you're not strong, you're gonna give up, like I said. So you will get challenges, you will get fight down, you will get people telling you cannot. They will have people saying, oh, you won't be successful or not. It's better to try and fail than fail to try. So you gotta always give your best.
Awesome. You say you have a strong supportive system. Who would you credit as your support system?
My biggest support system is between my mom and my wife.
Okay.
Sometimes when I feel like the world is against me, they would take the time off to call me, to talk to me. I live with my wife. I would speak to my mom via phone. I would go and visit her at work. So my mom always tell me just pray, never give up. My wife, she's been the rock, and like I say, there are times I literally want to give up, but I cannot because I have people depending on me. There are some guys I literally take off the streets and they living with me or living around me. So yeah, I'm not just doing it for myself. I'm doing it for them and probably the community, I should say, because I'm always willing to help. Sometimes some people would send in some donations and I'll be like, whoa, how can I do it? But I would still at least try to force myself to do it, even if it's two cases, something, a case of chicken. There are times where I'll do some big projects, and then there are times I cannot. Like now, it's basically slow season. Hopefully, the season will open by next week. But even in the slow season, I always try to assist.
That's very admirable of you. I love hearing that. I did not know that about you, and I'm loving the fact that I'm learning that about you. That you're so community oriented. We want to say big up to the Mrs. Murphys. Sorry, the Mrs.
Hippolyte,
Hippolytes,
yeah.
mom and wife. Big up to you guys for being the support system for Murphy Hippolyte. And I'm happy to hear that you've also taken on that community service aspect in terms of helping out the men in the area, because we do have such a downfall in our men with
Yeah.
all the things happening nowadays with the crime and everything. It's always good to find some way to pull them up, and then that's the way we're going to build up our society. If more people did what you do, that would definitely decrease the crime, decrease the violence, decrease all the problems we have experiencing nowadays. So that's great. I love hearing that. You have Paradise Hotel. You said you're open about 2 years now. Tell us a little bit about Paradise Hotel. How many rooms do you have? What kind of services do you provide? Do you have a spa? Is it kid friendly? Tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, Paradise Hotel, we recently put it into an adult only hotel, but we do accept kids in the restaurant only because sometimes some kids would come destroy things in the room, and then some parents would say it's not them or they're not willing to pay. And sometimes, these new breed of kids, I can't understand. I think they raise very poorly, and then I think the
That's
system is failing us because you cannot even before if my mom would correct me. Sometimes I see in some parents cannot even talk to the kids.
the kids more ready to fight the parents than anything
Yes,
else.
so that's the sad situation, and the system is allowing it to happen. If it continues like that, the crime rate will just be going skyrocket. So for that, we need to tackle the system. I don't blame the kids; it's the system.
Agreed. Because
This,
you have such young parents now, they don't know how to parent.
yes.
And then it's just a vicious cycle. It
Mhm.
gets worse and worse. And it just continues and it never seems to have an end to it. And then it doesn't seem to end at one child. They seem to always have multiple.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
then
sad truth of it all.
it's sometimes most kids they respect me. They would call me Mr. Murphy on the street and everything. And then when I hear some stories about other people's situation and they saying the kids are cursing and all that, I think it has a lot to do with respect. The parents have to teach them respect. And most of the household, they don't have supportive fathers or it's just a single mother. Now, as a single mother, raising a kid, it's very difficult
Yeah, that's true.
because usually men are the pillars of the house, Anytime you need to correct a child, it's mostly the man. So I think that's a duty we men lacking because there's no man in some of the households in St. Lucia.
That's true. Murphy, I think I'll have to challenge you to start up a men's group or something and do some mentoring of the men because we need some fathers to get some better mindsets as to how they're raising their kids and the legacy they're leaving behind
Yeah.
and how instrumental and important they are in the household and that what they do and don't do really actually affects the
Yes.
children as they get older. So we probably need to maybe make give some pamphlets or something. We need to figure something out. We honestly do. I want to say good night to Ninzi Hippolyte on our Facebook live chat. That's your wife.
Yes, that's my wife.
Hi, Mrs. Hippolyte, and good night to you, Mr. Bernard Haynes. Good night to all those of you on our live chat. If you would like me to give you a shout out, please say something in the live chat so that I can see your name. All right. If you have any questions for Murphy Hippolyte, please send it in as well. All right. So yes, we were talking about Paradise
Paradise.
Hotel. You said it's adult only at this point in time
Yeah,
because
but
of the
we
situations with the kids.
but we do accept them in the restaurant. We have very affordable local rates. So in terms of buying a bear or buying a meal in town, it's basically the same price at Paradise for lunch.
Okay, great.
Some of our products are cheaper because we love our locals. If it wasn't for our locals, we wouldn't be where we are today. So I appreciate my locals. I love them. Some people had it wrong at start because of the COVID-19 and all the rules they put in place. I show you rid of it, and they had some people calling the radio station about
I
it.
honestly did not, to be quite honest with you. I don't tend to hear that type of stuff.
Yeah.
I am usually very much out of the loop,
Yeah, so
which is what I'm trying to change.
Yeah.
So that's why I figured, bring your hair so we can air out everything. Anything you feel like you need to air out for the public, that's perfectly fine. I didn't really hear anything about Paradise Hotel. The most I've ever heard about Paradise Hotel is that the food is good. That's the most I've heard, and I saw I'm trying to remember who I saw posted something today. It's a Chad Daisy. I saw he posted something and I was like, okay, it looks I said when I saw the photos, it looks child friendly, which is why I remember earlier on before we started, I was telling you I would love to bring my goddaughters.
Yes.
But
in the
now,
restaurant, we accept them.
okay, but
We usually have birthday celebrations for them. We have tubing, we have water sports, and a whole sorts of stuff for them.
awesome. Do you have brochures, by the way? If there's
We have some cards, but I didn't work with any
okay,
on
all
me.
right, that's not a problem.
Yes. So
Hopefully
I could drop them off at any point
not
in
a problem.
time.
We can have one here right here so that we can every so often give you guys a shout out.
Not a problem.
All right, great.
Yeah, and we've sponsored the foundation already in terms of sometimes Valentine's Day, Christmas will give out another promotion. We always want to help out.
That's great. And do you have like day passes?
At the moment, we don't, but
Okay.
it's you could just put in a reservation and probably just 24 hours before. There are days where it's slow, but usually on a Sunday it's super busy. So last week Sunday we were booked out from 2 weeks ago. Yeah, Sundays are busy, very very busy.
Okay, so there's typically a day everybody wants to go
Want to
somewhere.
go to the beach, yeah.
Yes, so yeah, I would
Everybody's
expect
on.
that. I would expect that.
Yeah.
Um,
And then the food, we always do it fresh. Anything remaining, I either give it to the dogs because we have security dogs on property, and then the balance of the food we send it out to the to pigs. So
Okay.
I have my buddy Bigger collecting pig food probably every day or every 2 days.
Okay, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay. How many rooms does Paradise Hotel have?
We currently have 10 rooms, 5 villas.
5 villas.
Yeah.
Okay. When you say villa, that's like how many people can the villa accommodate?
We go per couple, so it's 142 USD per couple,
Mhm.
and it's inclusive of breakfast.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
And that's okay. That's the villa price.
yeah.
Okay. So does each villa have like a private pool or
We just installed two pools. One is already done, and another is in the final stages.
now I ask this question and people might find it weird when I ask this question when it comes to the pools.
Yeah.
Your pool access, is it a ladder or is it steps, concrete steps?
Um, I have both. I have both in the one that's ready, and the other one we put in concrete steps.
Okay, I have a serious issue with ladders.
Hey, yeah.
I do not enter pools with ladders. So if I go somewhere and the pool has a ladder, I'm already
and
upset.
and then we have a very big pool right in front of us, which is the sea. We don't have to maintain.
Okay, that's true. That's
Yeah,
true. That's true. I came to your place a long time ago, before it was Paradise
I
Hotel.
think that's when we had beach plays.
I don't know what it was. A friend of mine was having a birthday,
Oh,
and that's where she brought me.
mhm.
I don't remember.
Yeah,
Because I was saying to somebody, I don't. I think it's the same place. And when I tried to vision, I was like, it has to be the same
the
place
same place.
because we arrived by boat
Mhm.
and we left by vehicle in the night. So I have no idea where we were going. I know I just came out with my friend for her birthday. That's all I can tell you. So I suspect it's the same location because I was like, I'm going to Margaret Beach. I did not know there was a place at the end of Margaret Beach that was basically like a big bar, big restaurant, a hotel type of situation. I had never heard of the place before.
It was run before by my mom-in-law and my dad-in-law, Benny and Marcelina Judah, and it was before we took over. It was abandoned for 10 years.
Oh,
Yeah, all because of Freedom B. Freedom B wanted to buy.
yes,
Yeah,
yes. Okay,
so
that makes sense.
so the
Yes.
place was abandoned because they didn't have no road access for the guests. They was only allowing only the residents, which was them.
Mm-hmm.
And then I took on the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would love to come and see what
my
the
wife
place
and
looks
I we
like
took on
now.
the challenge, and then I could tell you from where it was to where it's now, it's a big achievement.
Okay, great. Good night to you, Miss Valeria Johnny. Thanks for tuning in with us on Let's Connect. And to you, Tracy Descat, big up to you as well. So, like I said, anybody who has any questions for Mr. Murphy Hippolyte, who is my in-house guest tonight on Let's Connect, please send it in our Facebook live chat. I want to say good night to all those of you listening on 88.5 Sufre FM. So we're discussing Murphy Hippolyte's trajectory into business and his successes as an entrepreneur. And he is very community oriented, which I love so very much. And I like that the fact that you don't like to shy away from risk because you seem to be that kind of person that you're gonna take it on.
Yeah,
And
because
I like that about you.
literally I came into a blind battlefield. I didn't know what questions you were going to ask me,
Yeah.
and I'm here.
And I usually don't do that because anybody who's been on my show, they know that I typically let you know at least even if maybe just my core questions and then maybe through what you say, I will find something else to ask. But tonight I was like, okay, I've never met this young man. I've heard nothing about you other than I know you were married and that the significance of Harmony's Bar and I knew Harmony's Bar existed. Other than that, and that you had Paradise Hotel, I didn't know anything. So I was like, we're gonna get to know each other tonight. We're gonna try and make it as fun as possible.
Wonderful.
So yes, Missy Boo Descat said she went there for her birthday dinner and the food was great. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for
so
that,
much.
Missy. Okay, Bernard Haynes said he just wanted to let me know that Suferian should look forward to his food drive for Christmas. Okay, so Bernard Haynes is telling Suferians, look forward to his food drive for Christmas. I'm expecting a ham, Mr. Haynes. Please don't disappoint me. Okay, Bernard Haynes is asking if you're Benny's son.
I'm his son-in-law. I'm with his daughter.
Son-in-law. Okay, so your wife is Benny's daughter.
Yes.
Okay, Bernard. All right. Tracy is asking for a Facebook giveaway. So we're asking for a day pass. They're going to have giveaways for Christmas, Tracy. So keep locked on to 88.5 Super FM during the Christmas season when I think they usually have the 25 days of Christmas giveaways here on the radio station. So keep locked on that. I'm sure one of the prizes is going to be something from Paradise Hotel.
For sure.
All right. So no spa,
No, not as yet.
but you plan to?
We plan
Because
to.
I like when I go somewhere, I come for all the amenities. I
Yeah.
want to eat. I want to have the
But
spa.
if you want to have a spa treatment like a massage or anything of that choice, we do have some in-house, or so we could call one of them, like Becky. Becky is one of the best in Soufriere. We usually call her to come and do a spa treatment.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah.
great. So you definitely have the option of getting your food at reasonable cost, have your room, you have pool access and beach access. You can get somebody to come in to do a spa treatment. So
Yeah.
now tell me a little bit more about the boat sporting activities. You mentioned tubing. So what type of activities you have water wise?
So water-wise, we have the bikes, we have tube rides, which is about 10 to 15 EC per person. Then we have the big Mabel. It could take 4 people. We have the hot dog. It takes 2 persons. We have the ones you lie down on. We have water skis, kayaking. We have the normal kayaks, the clay kayaks. We just don't advertise it because we feel like we're not ready.
Okay.
But by next year, we should be full fledged ready because we're looking for dedicated staff as well.
Okay.
We have 29 staff members. Yeah.
Well, now's your time to announce some of your vacancies. Tell the public what sort of
When
persons
the
you need, what positions.
when the season is open for sure. So for sure, for now we're looking for bartenders and waitresses
Okay, bartenders and
or
waiters.
waiters.
Do you have any specifications? Do you need 5 CXCs? Do you need
Oh no, no.
experience necessary?
I'm someone always willing to change a person. Usually, sometimes we take on the most difficult stuff because I believe everybody deserves a second chance in life. So in terms of CXCs and all that, we're more looking for experience. If we don't get the experience, we could train somebody because basically any hotel you go, everything is different. So we'll just have to train you and show you the paradise way because we treat our locals better than guests. That's hands down.
Awesome. I think that's the type of thing I've been hearing a lot. People always want to go there for lunch. Somebody
Yeah.
always wants to go to Paradise Hotel for their birthday. So when you hear people talk about it in that way, you know that there's something you're doing you're
Yes.
doing it well. So just keep doing what you're doing. I'm hoping that when the season opens up, that you get a lot of repeat business. I definitely want to check it out. I'll have to figure out. I might have to do it a different way since I'm what I wanted to do with my goddaughters. I don't think I'll be able to do it. So I'm going to have to try and figure something else out. But I'll definitely be giving Paradise Hotel a try. I want to try out one of the villas for certain and definitely get into the pool. Do you do a shuttle service?
Shuttle service only sometimes when it's large groups would have them parked by the road because we don't have a very large parking area,
Okay.
and then we'll do shuttle service.
Okay, great.
Yeah, but at the moment we don't because I don't have a driver. My dad fell sick, and then we don't have a driver. I haven't looked for a driver yet.
Okay. Well, like you said, these are the type of things that once the season is open,
Yes.
you might need to hire a
I
driver.
would need
So
to
those
hire
of
a
you
driver.
with your driver's licenses, try and buff up on your skills, please. And those of you keep a lookout for Murphy Hippolyte's vacancies when the season is opened. Hopefully he's going to use 88.5 to advertise as well. So always keep it locked to the station. We're gonna keep you letting you know. And you're always welcome back to On My Show. Just let me know in advance. You can always come back. We can have a talk. You can bring your wife. We can have a little chat on here about anything, any old thing that you'd like to talk about.
Not a problem.
Always my pleasure to bring on persons in the community and let the people get to know who you are.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of Let's Connect. We're gonna connect with you so that everybody knows who and what you're about, who and what your business is about.
Not a problem.
Okay, so Harmony's Bar. Do you have anything coming up for the Christmas season with Harmony's Bar?
Not we supposed to plan some things because we gave it a break because we saw how the community is going and then the cost of living got so high.
Oh, yes.
So
It's still increasing though.
yes,
It's not stopping.
yes. So when Harmony is back, come back. We're gonna come out with some specials because that's our signature.
Yes.
We for the community, we don't try to squeeze anyone. We always have our drink special because we want people to enjoy themselves. We're not in it just to make money. We're in it for the people. So that's why we give events a break and then we're gonna come back. So for those of you guys that's missing us, for sure we're gonna get back.
Awesome. The district rep, Honorable Emma Hippolyte, she hosted a sort of a cleanup campaign at Magnitude Beach
Yes.
on Saturday, November 5th.
And I pledged to it. And we had some of our gardeners cleaning up. And I think she said every Sunday she wants to come. And then I told her I will assist her any way I can. But today we had all three of our gardeners cleaning the beach and trimming the bushes,
That's
because of the
wonderful.
recent activities of people getting robbed lower
Yes,
down. So,
yes.
we don't condone this kind of behavior. So any way I can assist, I would always try to my best.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that because when I got there, I got there early on Saturday, and I had to go to another meeting at 10 o'clock, so I didn't stay for the whole thing. And it was raining, and I had never seen that area that congested with bush before
Yeah,
in all my life. I used to really frequent that beach. That used to be my go-to beach,
go to beach.
and I had never seen it like that before. What do you think was the reason that? I mean, you might not know the reason, but do you have any thoughts as to how? I know the criminals definitely like it like that.
Because it got that way because it was fenced out with plywood by Freedom Bay.
That's right.
So you couldn't see that end of the beach now because the fence fell down. Because I think we had a tropical storm. Yeah, that's when it was really windy and then it threw it down. So that's where you saw all the bushes and all that. So they saw it as an avenue to rob the guests.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yes,
but
because that's true.
because
It was
it
fenced
was
for the
fenced
longest
out
while.
with plywood, so meaning you couldn't get beyond that point unless you climb up the plywood. So you wouldn't be able to just enter. So you would have to jump over and then jump back. So that was the main reason. The fence falling down was the main reason because that's Freedom Bay land,
Okay.
and now it's in liquidation. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the side of because I say it had to be some sort of reason in terms of the land, maybe dispute or whatever,
Yeah.
for it to get in that state because that's not a normal thing.
No, no, no.
Everybody can see that. Everybody, even the people at Barron Drive could
Yeah.
see that this is not normal
Yeah.
for this beach to be this overrun with bush.
And then we didn't want to take it up on our own and just go and clear it out because it's not our land. Sometimes whilst we cleaning, somebody call Freedom Bay and say, "Hey, look, Murphy is on your land trimming the trees." They will never look at it as we trying our best to stop the criminals. So as Miss Emma took it on, we now assisting her in any way that she wants.
Well, that's definitely wonderful. It was great to see the men and from Barron's Drive come out, and I think there was a few women with them as well. So definitely was something that needed to happen,
Yeah.
and hopefully now we'll get more access to the beach, and in turn, Paradise Hotel will get more business as well because you can just walk down the beach, maybe go and buy a bear, go and buy a meal, spend the rest of your day at the beach. I think it would definitely is a win-win for everybody.
For everybody.
So yes, that's great. And then by the time you have more of the sporting, the water sports open, then you would still get even more business then because persons will be at the beach and they're like, oh, I want to try that.
Yeah.
They'll see it happening and they'll want to try it. It's going to be a wonderful experience, and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed that once this season opens, that all of this is going to be something that's going to happen for all of us. So once again, we're listening to Let's Connect on 88.5 Super FM. My guest is Murphy Hippolyte. For those of you joining us a little late, I want to say good night once again to Bernard Haynes and remind the public, those of you listening in Soufrière, that he said his food drive in Soufrière is going to be happening. So look out for that. And we want to say good night to Mr. Alexander, who's on with us. He said that he doesn't think you would hire him to be your driver.
Which Alexander is that error?
Pings?
Oh, Penks is currently in a better position than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And good night to you, Miss
That's
Alexander.
That's actually my brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So all the family is locked on tonight. That's
Yeah.
great.
Imagine I sent my mom it probably 10 minutes before I came on.
Okay.
I didn't even advertise it because I was somewhat nervous, but I don't know why.
I mean,
I'm usually a people's person.
I don't eat people, so
Yeah.
there's nothing to be afraid of.
No, I like I said, I didn't know.
Yes,
type of
I know you didn't know what to
questions,
expect. Yes,
I didn't know what to expect.
No, I just wanted to feature you because, like I said, we're celebrating Business Month in November, and someone did mention to me, there's like, okay, Murphy Hippolyte, entrepreneur, you need to talk to him. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, definitely. As long as I can get in touch with you, Definitely invite you.
We did one. We won two awards. I think Emma had hosted it at Whispers. Yeah, we won Entrepreneur of the Year.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, that's great. Wonderful. Kudos to you.
thank you.
Entrepreneur of the year. That's something you might win again next year because I unless you can think of somebody that's gonna be in the running other than you.
Again, that the doors are open, and then I'll be happy if somebody else won it. The same way, because like I say, it's just not one person. Super is not a one man show,
That's right. That's right.
and Super could be so much better if all of us just come together.
I wonder, in your opinion, what do you think is the basis for that attitude that you have in terms of we need to come together, we need to have community, we need to help each other? What do you base that on?
Um, I'm not someone that's greedy. So in terms of we need to come together, if I was somebody that's greedy, I would all by now I would be doing events, doing this, doing that. But in terms of we have to come together as a community, that's a must. We have to do it. Because if we don't, it will now become a fight down. It will become a fight. Like let's say when Whispers got closed down, some people were saying Harmony's by is taking over. And I was like, what? I never heard anything about that. And then I was so sad because that was literally our only good nightlife in Sufre, Whispers Bar. I was so sad when they closed down. And kudos to them, they opened up a new part. I love it. And then I'm basically there probably let's say 2 3 times for the month because I'm somebody I love to support. I go, I enjoy myself because sometimes when you work so hard, you need to go and take a
Oh
little
yes,
free up.
that's what I'm trying to tell myself
Yeah.
these days. I definitely need to get out more.
Mhm.
It cannot be work, work, work all the time.
Yeah.
Yes. So
So
but like you said, when you hear people say things, it just sometimes you just have
it's
to let it roll off your
yeah,
back.
it's mind blowing. Like they just
They find the worst
the
things to make
worst
up.
things to make up. And boy,
So for we
Sufre
special
have
with
a
that. We special with that.
they have a problem with that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have experienced it myself on several occasions, so I definitely know what you're saying. So, our people, we urge you. We like to talk to people. Come and ask us questions, especially at the Sufra constituency office. It is my pleasure to answer any questions that you come in with. We are always ready to greet you. I might not have a smile on my face because it's very difficult. The face does stick in one position, but that doesn't mean I'm upset with anybody. Please and thanks. That's why I miss the mask, because I
Yeah.
could hide the resting face behind the mask.
And sometimes we have so much on our mind and then we
My
just
mind has been so
lost.
far. People don't understand that sometimes, and they'll think I'll walk past them straight on the street. It's not that. Sometimes I honestly don't see
Yeah.
you. My mind, far. I pass in my office door sometimes. If I don't check myself, I'm like, where am I going again? I'm walking and my mind not there. It happens. So please don't take any offense. I'm sure Murphy looks like he's an open guy. That if you had a question to ask him about what his business has to offer, he would answer you.
Most definitely.
So please do not hesitate to ask questions. Do not make assumptions.
Yeah.
That is where the danger is at times. Okay?
Because
All right.
last weekend I was at Bigger's place all 3 days. Bigger had his birthday bash. And it was quite nice, get to spend some time with the wife, enjoying a few drinks, saw some friends. And then Super is missing nightlife. And then we just need to put our heads together. Most times, everybody wants to do something the same day. But if we come together, everybody can eat, everybody can win.
That's so true. And the thing is too, well, and like I know most people like to go out and drink and have fun, talk, eat. We need more places that it's also safe,
Yes.
where you can go and like you don't feel like so because with all the crime
The
happening,
crime happening.
you don't want to go somewhere you don't have a right to get back at your home, or you have to walk in a dark area. These are the type of things people think about sometimes when they go out. So we need more safe avenues for people to be able to go out and enjoy themselves and be able to return home safely without having to worry about anything else. So that's
number
the
one.
type of businesses we need people to think of. So once again, I want to urge persons with business ideas, please visit Ministry of Commerce and register your business. The government is going to be rolling out grants soon and rolling out programs soon to help you with your business, to help you get where you need to be with your business. Especially youth economy is coming on board from the 1st of December. So persons between the age of 18 to 45 and have registered their business and have their business plan ready, or if you need help with your business plan to get yourself ready in terms of getting financing for your business, these are the things that are coming on board, the government is bringing on. So I urge you, please take note, get your business registered. If you need help, ask questions. The help is there for you. We're doing all what we can to make sure that Sufre gets to where we want it to get. We need to get to a place where we're safe, where we're able to enjoy ourselves, where we're able to work and be entertained, raise our children, and be a thriving community. That's the hope. That is what Sufre 2040 aim is. That is what the district rep wants for us. That is what the current government wants for us. So all of these things, that's what we're trying to achieve. All right. Good night to you, Smith Philip. Thanks for joining us on Let's Connect Sufre 88.5 FM. All right, Mr. Haynes, Bernard Haynes said, support each other and the place will move forward. Let's stop breaking down each other. Okay, that is so very true. That is what we want. That is more of what we need in this place. Now, I wanted to go back a little bit to one of your previous statements regarding Paradise Hotel and having to change to being adult only and the situations that brought that to come to fruition, and touch back a little bit on what we need to do in terms of the children. Now, on some levels, I believe once you get to a certain age, it is the onus is on you to want to change. So there comes a time when you have to just let a certain age group be. But in terms of the younger generation, I said at the spiritual development symposium that we need more of the programs we used to have, the Girl Guides, the Scouts, the Brownies, the church groups where I used to go every Saturday and spend the day learning different stuff. We need more of these type of things because that's where we used to learn about morals and values. Because unfortunately, like you yourself said, in the home, sometimes we don't get it. There's absentee parents, fathers are not in the home, the parents themselves are too young to know any better, they're too young to be able to discipline their children, they don't know how to discipline their children. What do you think we need to do to get those morals back into our young children?
Well, I will tell you from my personal experience. I was in the cadet corps. Got kicked in the chest by an officer, rolled down a barrel. They put me in a barrel, rolled me down a flight of stairs at Leoness Compre. That's a camp. And then it was all my fault. I was disrespectful to another cadet, and then I got disciplined. I couldn't even go and tell my mom that because that's how it was before. But now you would just literally pinch a child and you'd go and tell that child would go and tell the parent. The parent now comes and challenge the person that pinched the child.
So basically, parents fighting children.
Parents are the downfall of our youth today. I blame the parents because before, if I would disrespect somebody and just say Miss Magdalene, go and tell my mom, you know, MJ passed on the road and MJ was cursing, I would get disciplined one time. She wouldn't ask me any questions. But literally heard parents saying, oh, sabara feme, si mama sa. You know,
Gosh.
so parents are the downfall of our youth today. I've seen it, I've heard it. Because Cadet Corps now, a lot of the retired cops, they literally just left the Cadet Corps because they cannot discipline the children. I think probably moving forward, they would have to look for prisoners to come and teach these children.
Oh gosh, that's not.
That's to show you if we continue like that, that's how bad it will get.
By the way, your mom's listening. She said she's hearing this for the first time.
I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh, your mom is hearing the story for the first time. I myself, if I was a mom and I heard that at the time, I don't know, I probably would have blown my roof off trying to, because I would not want to hear that. But wow.
And I fully deserved it.
I wouldn't
because
say that. No, I wouldn't. I don't condone that. I'm sorry. I don't condone that. You might have seen it that way, but I personally
yeah,
don't condone that. That was going too far. Rolling down a whole flight of
a
stairs.
whole flight of
No,
stairs
no,
in
no,
a
no, no.
barrel.
Now you should die now. No, 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 no,
Oh,
no, no.
no, no, no.
Nah, I'm not. I'm sorry. That's too much for me. They could have done other things. I'm sorry.
And
That one was a bit
and there are
harsh.
people there are people that was in the cadet condit, they could tell you they have literally done worse to them.
Wow.
I've heard different stories and they've
Okay.
done worse to them.
I was never in cadet, so
Yeah.
I cannot say. I think the furthest I went to was maybe scouts, and I think that ended when I got
Hmm?
to Form One. I think after that I never did these things anymore. But
And
in
after
terms
all that, they
of
still made me brush my teeth, my tongue actually, for 3 hours to stop cursing. Literally scrub my tongue because they said I had a nasty tongue. So, and from there, I think I learned a
okay,
valuable lesson.
I think we're teetering on the edge of discipline and abuse right there.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I cannot condone some of these things, but if it worked for you, I'm
yes.
glad it worked for you.
Mhm,
But if you were not as bad as the kids now, and that's what had to happen to work
mhm,
for you,
mhm.
I cannot imagine what they would have to do with
To
the
do to
kids
the kids
now
now.
for it to.
Because look at our present situation happening right on the waterfront when tourists are
And they
entering the
get
harbor
harassed.
and
Yeah.
they're getting harassed. And then you're telling me the super police station is right there
Yes.
and they cannot handle the situation.
Yes.
Literally,
Yes.
these police officers can handle that situation without the foundation or anybody intervening.
I agree. I agree
The,
because
the, the super police station is literally right there.
there's no respect for authority. They don't respect the police. They don't see the police as an authority.
and and
And
the police need to stamp the authority.
but at the same time, I feel too that the generation of police, or not all, I cannot say
Mm.
all, but the impression that they give sometimes is that they possibly could do worse if they had to intervene. So almost like it's a good thing that they're not intervening because it could get a whole lot worse if they did. So it's like we want you to do more, but at the same time we don't want you to go overboard. So
No,
we need to find some sort of balance.
they need to send warning to especially some of the parents first before they start going that route.
Right.
But literally, you could just detain one of the children for a couple of hours. You don't have to put them in the cell. You tell them to leave and they don't listen. You detain them. Then obviously somebody will go and tell the mother that child is in the cell, but you don't put them in the cell. You just detain them. And then trust me, the situation will be handled. And that's cheaper because the police now is already at work. Because we want better for Sufre.
That's right.
For Sufre, we want better. The police is working in Sufre. They're on duty. And to be right there and doing nothing, it's a problem.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
a big, big problem. And then the security guards cannot speak to them because they have literally no respect for the security guards. And Mr. Puppy is trying his best, but the police needs to intervene.
I hope those officers listening. I hope that the police station is tuned into 88.5 Super FM and that they're hearing that we need you to intervene. We need you to do more. We need you to have more of a presence. We need you to invoke the respect out of the children. That is what we need from you. So I'm hoping those of you who are police officers, retired police officers, friends of police officers, please pass on the message. Thank you.
Because literally, I've seen you coming to a new country and then you're seeing like 10 to 15 children approaching you with a flower, bareback, without a haircut. You'd be wondering,
Like,
like,
what is going
what's
on?
going on? I'm from Sufra and I'm like, wow,
And then
it's not a pretty sight.
the big question is why aren't they at school? Now I know I've heard lots of different arguments as to the parents cannot feed the children cannot go to school because they don't have clothes, they don't have shoes, they don't have a pencil, they cannot get their hair cut there because we have the rules of the school to maintain in terms of deportment. But there are avenues. There's the school has a lunch program. There's ways for children who cannot afford to get free lunch.
Yeah.
I think some of the schools, I'm not sure if it's still running, but there was a breakfast program. I think a lot of the parents too are too proud to ask for help. Some of them, there are those that are too happy to ask for help and too happy to ask for things. But then sometimes the things and the help don't go to where it's needed. That's the other issue. The parents are young, they want to go out, they want to party, they want to bacchanal. They don't really care about the needs of the child. The child goes and looks for their own way to help themselves.
And some of the parents, both the mother and the father assist, but they cannot control the children. And that's why it's gotten to a point where the police needs to intervene.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if it continues, these are the same children that might become criminals. I'm not blighting them, don't get me wrong.
No, we said
but
might.
Might, MIGHT. So that's where we need to put a stop to it. We don't have to lessen it, we have to put a stop to it.
We need also, I think, more social services in Sufre. We need social workers, we need truancy officers, we need persons trained in counseling children. We need parenting classes too. I think these are some of the things. Once you get pregnant, they need to start you in the class from the first month,
The first man.
so that by the time you give birth 9 months, you've been trained enough to know what to expect,
Yeah.
at least for the first 5 years of the child's life, in the terms of early development.
And literally, there's more things to prevent pregnancy, to control pregnancy. And then sometimes I believe the younger generation is doing it deliberately.
No, because I know when I went to school, although I went to a Catholic school, we still had some classes teaching us, especially when we did biology for CXC level. There's a whole chapter on reproductive health. You learn about STDs, you learn about STIs, you learn about contraception. So it's not that they were not taught, they just did not take in the information because they're just rampantly
Yeah.
doing
And
whatever.
the hospital has condoms for free.
The hospital has free condoms. Did
Uh,
y'all hear that? Those of you who did not know, the hospital has free condoms. FREE. Free. Thank you. Yeah, and I don't know. We just seem to just we afraid of the hospital. We afraid to take on our health. We afraid to talk to our children. We afraid to discipline. What are we expecting the future to look like?
we need to discipline the children. That's a need. Because the amount of teenage pregnancy that's happening now in the community, it's sometimes probably the children, they don't teach them at home. Yes, they try to teach them at school, but the teachers alone cannot do it.
Yeah, they really can't. When before we used to have maybe 15 children to a class maximum, now a class has 40,
40,
42 children,
42.
45 children. No teacher is going to be able to do everything in that class in a year and to be able to reach every child the way that that child needs in that year. It is almost impossible. And a lot of parents don't like to repeat their children. They see a stigma associated with it. A lot of them don't like to do lessons, or they don't want to pay for lessons, or they cannot afford lessons. There are so many things that are necessary for every child is different, so the child's needs will differ. So you cannot use them like they're cookie cutters and think that you can do all of the same thing for each child. There are children that will need special attention. So we have so many failures in our system. There's just no way that any one teacher, any one school, any one parent, any one priest can be able to handle this sort of situation that we're going through right now.
Yeah.
So I kudos to all the parents doing their best, because I don't know how some of y'all are super women, especially our mothers that doing it on their own. The way some of you make it happen, I give y'all the biggest props ever, because y'all are superhumans. But some of our parents, we need to do better. We need to just put in a little bit more effort, especially while the children are still young and they're still learning and they're still impressionable, where we can make the real change. Because like I said, sometimes when you get past a certain point, it's up to the child themselves to see it within themselves the need to change, and there's nothing else you can do. But we get to a point where the parents need to just step up a little bit. Step up a little bit. But I know everybody is struggling. Everybody right
The
now.
rich, the poor, the middle
It's
class.
it's nationwide
everybody.
right now. Everybody's going through something. So we giving everybody a little bit of grace.
And again, the system, like I said, is just continuously failing us. The price of fuel has dropped down, and the prices of goods are still up.
Yes.
And they're going higher.
Yes.
Mercy is one I just cannot comprehend.
I cannot. I usually measure by how many bags of groceries you get for $100. Now you cannot even say bags. It's a bag of
They blame it
groceries.
on the fuel. Fuel price drop down.
Yeah,
Why they not bringing down the prices of the goods?
if you can grow your own things at your home, I urge you, please do that. You see the things you need every day: your onion, your garlic, your carrot, your cabbage, your seasoning pepper. Try and grow these things at your home if you have space, because it's going to get to a point where food security is
Yeah.
going to become a problem.
And look now we have concession and still no prices are being dropped.
It's going to be a hard season for some people, for most people, but we have persons like you, persons like Bernard Haynes, the different organizations who are really rallying for us and doing what they can and urging us to bear patience and to hold on still. So thank you for that. I really love to hear how much of a community oriented person you are, and I guess that goes hand in hand with your mom and your wife. I want to big up again once again Miss Eudoxia and Mrs. Hippolyte. I keep saying Mrs. Murphy in my mind.
Yeah, Mrs.
Yes,
Hippolyte.
Mrs. Hippolyte. So I want to big you guys up for keeping Murphy grounded. And it's definitely great to see that Sufre has somebody that they can look up as an entrepreneur that is doing a lot for the community as well. So wonderful, wonderful to have had you here on my program this evening. I want to once again ask any of our viewers, those of you on our Facebook live chat, if there are any questions while we wrap up. We have a few minutes left. If you have any questions, if you have anything you would like to say, but might not be a question, it might be a review, it might be some congratulatory messages, anything that you'd like to say to Murphy, send it in now so that we can send it out for you. We want to shout out to Catherine Fauché. Thank you for joining us on Let's Connect. We have Bridget Fauché as well. Thank you for being here with us. And Missy, once again, thanks Missy for Missy Budescat, okay, for joining us on our program this evening. Murphy, is there anything last message you'd like to send? Any shout out you'd like to give? Now is the time. The floor is yours.
Last message. I've basically said mostly everything, wrapped it up in a nutshell. Shout out to my wife, to my mom, to my another supporter, Mr. Benya Judah. He literally he's taken me as a son, and I must say thank you very much to him. And as a community, we need to come together. We need to come together.
All right, you heard it from the man himself, Murphy Hippolyte. I want to give a big up to you from Big Man Prosper on our Facebook live chats. Also, Miss Tina Alexander, she said, please call on the fathers. Fathers, please make time to help in the development of your child or children, because this makes a world of difference. That is so very true. So very true. Parents, fathers, we need you all to do better. It's one thing to say I have five children and you're not taking care of them, you're not playing any role in their lives. That's not how it is. Okay? So do better to the men in our society. We urge everybody to do better. Every little bit goes a big way. All right. We have another big up to Murphy coming from Nicola Flora. Okay. So, anyone else? We have a couple more minutes. Please send all your messages to Murphy now so that we can read them out to him. So, Murphy, once again, I want to thank you. It has definitely been great getting to know you.
Not a
And
problem.
like I said, anytime you're ready, come back on when we have our Christmas special. We're not like we're going to be looking out for something from you. So, yes. Michelle McKetney says Murphy and his wife are great examples of proactive suffrarians. Big up to you guys. Okay, Catherine Fauché, she said, blessings, young man. Okay. Yes, Michelle, you got here late. That's okay. You can always go back and watch. But if you have a last minute question, we have about 5 minutes left. If you have any question you'd like to ask Murphy, now is the time. You have the floor is yours on our Facebook live chat. Okay, so we want to say big thanks to Murphy for coming on. We spoke about entrepreneurship a little bit. He gave us some advice. We spoke a little bit on what we need to do as a community, what we need to do in terms of our children and doing better. We touched a little bit on the police force. So definitely had a great round of topics this evening, and I'm very happy that we were able to have this chat tonight on 88.5 Sufra FM. You've been listening to Let's Connect. Okay. Michelle says, just continue to do great in the community. Okay. And Bernard Haynes said that he's very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. If we don't have anything else to discuss this evening, I think we can end it here. We have had a great time this evening on
Yes,
Let's
lovely.
Connect. So definitely been wonderful. Next week, my guest for next week unfortunately has changed. So hopefully I will see what we can make happen. I'm hoping to bring on the director of the youth economy for our show next week. I'm still waiting to make sure he's available. Until this time, we're going to let you continue on with our program with DJ Fatboy. Until next week, you've been listening to Let's Connect.
Do you have empty chemical branded bottles? Do you have unwanted electronics like mobile